spoiled, keep that in mind because I'm going to be talking about things and showing things that are both spoiler related. But at the end of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, ultimately, Mommy Longlegs meets her demise. At the end of Chapter 2, we have this really long chase scene with Mommy Longlegs, and honestly, it's pretty difficult. Your timing has to be perfect, otherwise you will die. And it's very intense. It reminds me of the vent chase scene from Chapter 1. But when we get to this door that we have to open with our blue hand, in the next room, we're finally able to defeat Mommy Longlegs. And this is what happens. I'm going to show you real fast because I want to show you what happens afterwards that you can't see, or that you can't see very well. That's very, very interesting.
What have you done? You make me part of you! You can't do this to me!
So Mommy Longlegs has a really brutal death. It's kind of crazy. And I can't really hear what she's saying. She says something about him, about something in regards to a him, at least from what I can hear. But the noise in the game was too loud and my subtitles weren't working. So if you guys know what they say, let me know in the comments below. So her torso falls to the floor and this metal hand comes out and grabs her and drags her underneath this door into the darkness. Now, this metal hand may look very familiar to a couple different fans of the movie Coraline, because it's kind of a similar thing. The Beldam has this metal detachable hand that kind of hunts Coraline down at the end of the movie and attempts to drag her back in. Anyone who has seen that movie is going to immediately think of that metal hand when they see this one in Poppy Playtime. But we're gonna take the camera now behind the door to show you what's actually back there and to get a closer look at the hand. And it's kind of interesting. So we have this metal hand that has, these spiky fingers that protrude from these circular balls. And the most interesting thing is, one, the arm is cut off. They're not gonna model the whole thing because I know people are gonna do exactly this. Take the camera out of bounds and reveal what the monster might be. Now, I'm not entirely sure yet if the monster is in the files. I haven't gone that far, but the most interesting thing to me is that this monster's hand, this robot arm, has a human bone grafted into it. The radius and the ulna of a human being is being used as sort of, I don't know if it's like a center point for this arm, but it's almost like it's bestowing sort of a soul upon this metal contraption. It's that human's bone that we can see that is carrying this dark energy into this creature. So is a Chapter 3 boss? Is it gonna be something like the Beldam? Are we gonna have like an Other Mother situation where we've met Mommy Longlegs, but now, what's the worst motherly creature? Or is it gonna be a fatherly figure? We saw a poster that had the entire Mommy Longlegs quote-unquote family. And if we take our character back here, we can see that there's also a long hallway that essentially leads to nowhere. There's some black shadows that they use to crop out the arm going through this maneuver. But ultimately, I'm really, really curious to see if the boss that we get in Chapter 3 is very similar to Coraline. Is the factory kind of gonna go in a twisted route, sort of with the creepy tunnel and the dreamlike world that took place in Coraline? Are we gonna have alternative types of enemies and stuff like that? But I'd really love to know what your theories are in the comments below, so please drop a comment, and I'll see you very soon.